Let me talk to you.
What is going on, everybody? This is Bassmaster coming at you with yet again another video. But today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a little story time, and the topic of today's story is how I got into the competitive Call of Duty scene and how I got into game battles. Now, I got 10 minutes to tell this, so I'm going to summarize it the best I can, and some things that really got me into it. So I started playing Call of Duty online in COD 4 back in 2008. I got an Xbox Live for like my birthday, and I created the gamer tag 50 Jet Li, and that's where it all started for me, creating that one gamer tag. I had been playing Call of Duty overall, like the campaign modes with friends on split screen, on little system links and whatnot. I had been playing like that, but I had never played multiplayer before. I was only 14 years old at the time, but obviously you start off with public matches. So pubs went on, for about 3-4 months into the game's release in November of 2008. That may have actually been 2007 at the time, now that I think about it. But um, you know, for some reason, I felt as if the game didn't have that edge, that competitive edge I was looking for. And this was just me playing team deathmatch, and because that's all I ever played was team deathmatch. So I looked at the other game modes, and I say to myself, I think I'm gonna try out search and destroy. And lo and behold, I found out that search and destroy was a one life around game mode, and it took a lot of strategy, communication, and it was something I was like, oh my god, I'm liking this. And and I was like, but I want something more. I want something where I'm really gonna have to work for it, and it's gonna definitely take an overall team effort to pull it out. Now, don't get me wrong, search and destroy is definitely a team effort, but the thing is, one person in search and destroy can carry a team. So I wanted a game mode that incorporated an overall team effort. So I'm gonna hop on the COD 4, and I click on domination. I wanted to give domination a go, and the first game I got into, I remember it as almost as if it was just yesterday, and it was on backlot. I had my MP5 out, and I got in the lobby and I got put on a team with a bunch of older guys, much older than me. I can't even describe, probably in their 20s, mid 20s, somewhere in there, and I'm only 14. And they're calling out. They're very competitive. They're helping me out. As a younger player. And these guys introduced me to game battles. I had actually, for the first time in my Call of Duty career, I dropped, 30 kills a game and died maybe 10 times, 10, 12 times, somewhere in there. At only 14 years old, playing against guys that were twice my age. And it felt good. And I said I wanted something more than just playing pubs. And these guys introduced me to game battles. Game battles was fresh, fresh onto the Call of Duty scene. Game battles have been around since 2005, 2004, if I'm correct, with Halo and Gears of War. Pro Mod was huge. Smash Brothers also very huge. And the first season of game battles, I remember, 23,000 Call of Duty teams. And I get on I look on the rankings and stuff, and I see Envious, and curious enough, I see, apparently Envious was a god team. They were solid at the time, and I type in the YouTube, Envious, and a match gets pulled up, Envious versus Extravagant Icons, Call of Duty 4 Nationals. And on Envious, if I'm correct, it was Hastro, Sidrock, Fierce, and Foreplay. I think that's correct. And then on the Extravagant Icons team, you all know these names: Big Timer, Sharp, Dodgers, who I was a huge fan of Dodgers, and Assassin, if I'm correct. don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure it's Assassin. But anyway, I got to watching these guys, I got to learning, and I got to look at strats and what they did, and I improved as a player. I just improved overall as a player, to the point of where I would hop into a pubs match and on domination and dropping 30, 40 kills a game was nothing for me, and immediately I knew I had it. Now, besides, obviously I had to balance some things, because I want to play competitive COD, but I had a life in school with soccer, and a mere 14 years old, I'm just starting into high school, and it's something I want to do with it, and I met three of my greatest friends on Xbox Live through game battles, and Hometown Gaming was created in the latter part of my freshman year of high school, and so 2008 is when Hometown Gaming was established. Um, HCG has grown over the many years, um, but back to my competitive schmeal. I'll do a video on where Hometown Gaming came from. So my first ever game battles team was Heart of the Warrior, which you all heard me mention in the last game, and we started off really well. We started off a strong 16-2, if I'm correct. I'd have to look back. It's been so long since I've looked at my first ever game battles account, but we started off 16-2, and we slowly. What happened was I started getting better, and the other three guys were just slowly declining, or maybe my level of play was just getting better, and they just weren't moving. So I wanted to find a new team and stuff, and I kind of took a break from game battles because I didn't think I could find a better team than that. So I created more own organization with Dom, Frank, and BJ, and Hometown Gaming turned out to be a huge success. With them running the day-to-day activities, and day-to-day jobs and whatnot. But the reason I did this video for and the reason the game mode's domination, because domination is actually where I really started to get that feeling of competitiveness, and that it takes you to play a good game the whole game, or at least 90% of the game, for you to pull out a win. Now, I understand not all game modes are like that, and I didn't really start getting into CTF until MW2, and MW2 and Black Ops is when we really took off as competitive players, and GBs. That's when we really took off. It was a great experience. Playing game battles with so many people, and the cool thing is I've met so many people through game battles, and some of them I still know to this day. Some I haven't seen since 2008, 2009. It's 5, 6 years ago. And here we are in 2014. I'm 20 years old. And it's funny, I look back, and 6 years ago I got my first ever FPS game in Call of Duty. And then my little brother got involved with the game. My little brother turned out to be a beast. I mean, he's just outright better player than I am at the game, and he still plays, not as much competitive, but he plays a lot still, and I love that about him, because he is one of the better, if not the best player I know. You learn so much from your experiences, and one of my many experiences was, being around all these older players. It prepared me as a Call of Duty player, I guess you could say, today. Because I heard trash talk, and it's not like this crappy trash talk you hear today with this new generation of young gamers coming in. It's not this little, oh, you BK Randy. It was like, I will shit on your mother and bang your dad. Like, I know it sounds weird, but they went straight for the heart with their trash talk, and they got in your head. And head games was something I grew on. I talk crap in lobbies all the time. And it's something that just grows on you, and that comes with the competitive scene. But yeah, that's my story of how I got into the game battles and competitive, and some other ranting moments in that story that you all heard. But my next video, I'm going to talk about hometown gaming and uh, probably some other things. I hope you all enjoyed this video and the gameplay. Funny story, this score was the exact same as that domination. This has been Bassmaster. You all have a wonderful day.